I would love to introduce you to my great friend in Greece, Zsa Zsa Tudos. She is trained in so many different modalities, but I'm going to let her introduce herself to you because she's so incredible and into so many things. Hello, Zsa Zsa.
Hi, Beverly. I am so very happy to be here, and thank you very much for the amazing introduction. It's really, really beautiful of you. Yes, I am Zsa Zsa Tudos. I am mainly an esoteric knowledge expert as such, but obviously, this knowledge expert means that I am trained in many fields that comes under the umbrella of esoteric. Just want to tell you what esoteric means because I think people misuse this word. Esoteric is a Greek word meaning the highest knowledge possible for human beings. I mean, that is the knowledge a human being can achieve in a lifetime, the highest knowledge. So it is not somebody who is lighting a candle, or talking about the Akashic records or whatever, because everybody can do that. I don't want to sort of build myself up in your eyes in any way whatsoever. I just wanted to clarify what the word means. And that's what I am doing actually. I have a philosophy of my own I created many years back. And this philosophy is called Akia. It's registered worldwide. And this philosophy is searching for the perfect matrix of the universe and with human beings in it. Now I remember that nowadays we talk about stepping out of the matrix because the matrix will suck you in and whatever it is. You cannot step out of the matrix. You can change the matrix as such, but you cannot step out of it because we live in interrelations, everybody and everything in the universe. So it is axiomatic that we actually share the same structure as such. So don't ever try to step out of it because it is not possible in that way. However, we all can actually work towards changing the quality of the matrix. So we could get awakened and knowledgeable. And with this knowledge we gain, we can become kinder, nicer, more peaceful, and smiling and joyous, and we can actually step on the path of becoming a happy person. So now we arrive to another word I need to explain, I think, because we usually talk about happiness in an everyday manner, and we say that, oh, I am happy because of this and that. But of course, on the other hand, we usually put some restrictions on happiness and conditions on happiness. We say, I will be happy when I have my house. I will be happy when I have my work. I will be happy then and then and then and then. As if we wanted to punish life for not giving us the happiness we want. Well, I have to tell you honestly, and it is very important to understand that there is the most important love affair of a human being is between the self and the life itself. And that is the most important. If you don't understand it and you don't know how to live this beautiful love affair, then you cannot really expect anything from life, because it is like a true love affair. You gain whatever you put into it. So that is how it works. You have to understand that. Now that we are clear on a few issues like happiness and esoterics, and well, not very clear on awakening just yet, but I am going to tell you all about it. I think I am going to get into and talk about our situation at the moment, where we are, and what are we doing here right now. Well, we are on a tipping point in our lives, and this tipping point shouldn't be ignored in any way whatsoever, because it is the final make it or break it. And we have been having tipping points, quite many during the last century as such. And even in this one, of course, we are into it 21 years. My God. So, yes, but I don't think humanity understands these tipping points very well. I wouldn't say they were actually as important tipping point as this one, because this one is the real final tipping point of our lives. Last one we had was during the quantum leap. That was in 2012, 28th of December, when everybody been talking about end of the world and whatever it is. And of course, everybody thought it was the 21st of December, because we are used to the Gregorian calendar's definition of the winter equinox. But you see, again, something you need to learn. Equinox can only happen on full moon, because the equinox is the dance of the moon and the sun. It cannot be on half moon or quarter or whatever it is. It has to be on full moon. Everything. I mean, all the equinoxes, and of course, all the solstices. Yeah. So we really have to understand that we cannot ignore the moon in any way whatsoever. And obviously, because of that, it was on the 28th of December. I actually looked into the Mayan calendars, because people were saying that according to the Mayan calendars, we figured it out that the world is going to end in 2012, somewhere in December, yeah? But somehow, because people are used to certain things, like the 21st of December being a prominent date, they ignored 1 week of the Mayan calendar as such. So it was a really fascinating thing, because obviously, according to our calendar, it is very difficult to figure out when the Mayan calendar has started. But it has started, of course, 5 sun ages before, because it is working through the 5 sun ages. I'm not going to get into that, because I can talk about it forever. So I am getting back to the awakening business. But it was important to understand that we had a very big opportunity to actually change our course of life in 2012. Just few words about the quantum leap, because that is important. The quantum leap was a galactic quantum leap, meaning that the whole galaxy went up 1 level on the spiral of evolution. So actually, the whole galaxy, not just the sun, solar system where we are, because usually our quantum leaps are at every sun age, and the sun age is a solar quantum leap as such, but because it was the end of the fifth sun age that the Maya saw very well and knew very well. I mean, it is absolutely amazing. So it was a galactic quantum leap. And I need to tell you that Earth wasn't ready for that in any way whatsoever, because Earth is denser, slower as such, and has a lot of karma. We demolished the planet very well. And because of that, it needed some push from the solar system and from the galaxy to actually help it through the quantum leap. And they did, and we did. And I remember I was with my students on the day in Spain. I used to live in Spain and during that time. And I had about 10 students of mine with me. And it was really amazing. People waiting for the time and everything. We knew it was pulling through, but still, you know, I mean, it was really amazing and full of suspense, and we've done a lot of work during that time to help actually. So that was the time when actually we should have embraced the awakening, because we started to receive so much of this really wonderful fast energies from the universe actually, because we went up one level, so it became a faster and livelier living than it was before. However, humanity wasn't there. So, I mean, we are really heavy. We are, even though people talk about, oh, fast energies and the universe is giving us the fast energies. Guys, of course, the universe is giving us the fast energies. But if we cannot take it, we cannot take it. It's not up to the universe to wake us up. It is up to us to wake ourselves up. And you have to understand that. It is very important. So
we have to do the work.
Yes, of course. I mean, human beings don't like working, and they, of course, they've been sort of trained for 2000 odd years. They are trained to put all the responsibilities on the, we would say the creator, God, or the universe, or whatever you call it, but it's the same thing in one way or another. Mm-hmm. Just for you to take your load off and float, you know, because you cannot float with a load. If you have the load, you either
sink
up, start doing something, or drown. Yeah. And that's it. So you have to learn to swim, how to swim and how to get on with life properly to actually get into this beautiful energy we are getting from the universe. But if you don't have it, too bad. But I cannot really say that it is your fault in any way whatsoever, really, because the point is that you don't have the clue what to do with that. I mean, people don't understand what does it mean to be part of the universe and how to behave with all that and what our responsibilities are in this absolutely magnificent matrix. So, because we have not been taught.
Yes.
And you know, if you don't have the basic understanding, then you cannot really learn. I mean, what is learning? Learning is actually remembering the knowledge what you already have. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And that is important to understand. So teachers like Beverly and myself, I give you keywords to open your subconscious and open your fires there and bring it out into the conscious, into your own life. So you would have something to um, think about or ask about. Because you see, I might tell you, okay, ask me questions, but you might not even know what to ask me,
Right.
because everything what I'm telling you is new. And if it is new, you don't know what to ask. Be honest. I mean, that's the point. So we need to have information as a base to put our knowledge on it. Otherwise, it's not going to stick. I call it the hook, and I tell my students that it is really up to you. Of course, I help my students in every way whatsoever to build the hook. You have to inquire. You have to be curious about your life. You have to learn. You have to want to learn every day. And it is, even though we are really flooded with this misinformation of money needed and we are going to make thousands and millions and God knows what, and everybody is talking about it. Guys, I tell you honestly, it is good to have money. I am not saying not, of course. And I teach my students to appreciate it and make money. Yes. But the idea is that you need to know what to do with money. And the only way to do and to understand and really enjoy money is to understand about life and living. I mean, with money, you can make so many wonderful things for others and for yourself. And don't worry about spending your money on others because it comes back to you. We live in interrelations. And if somebody else is happy, then it comes back to you too. So
Yes.
it is absolutely amazing what we can do with each other and with money if that's what we want. But to make money and to do amazing things with money, we need to learn to understand the whole concept of living. First of all, so I would say you have to understand how to awake, how to awaken yourself, how to become a responsible, full uh, um, member of the society and, of course, your life. Because look into that, what is happening today. I mean, it is especially in the spiritual community, because the spiritual community, by the way, I am going to tell you what the spiritual community is in one second. But now I just want to finish my sentence because I will forget it. So the idea is that people, when they sort of turn their lives around and they say, okay, I was in business up to now, but now I am going to become a coach. I am spiritual. Just by becoming a coach or just by saying you are talking about this and that and that and this, you are not spiritual. It doesn't make you spiritual. The spirituality is actually finding the path to make yourself equal with the universe. And it really means that you have to be an equal member of society and everything. And when I say everything, you need to bear responsibility for everything what is going on there. And you need to give your opinion when it is needed, and you need to push things when it is needed, and you have to understand how other people live, and you have to take care of everybody. When I say spirituality, in spirituality, you have no um, no groups of people. And this is a big problem because that's what we do all the time do, because our language is created by us, of course, and we put in levels, comparisons, and everything. And really, in real spiritual understanding, we should never compare a human being to another one in any way whatsoever, because everybody is equal, not the same, but equal. Everybody is here to learn and go up on the ladder of evolution as such. So we have to help each other to get there. And we actually, by helping each other to get there, we are getting there also.
Yes.
And it is wonderful. It is just amazing. It is something really, really, really wonderful. So I am having the most interesting questions nowadays. It makes me think and a bit saddened also, because the biggest question today is, are we coaches, healers, educators, are potentially ready to heal, educate, and coach the new generation?
No. It's different. They're very, very different. It's a different world they're creating.
Yes. And that is the biggest question. That is the biggest question people don't really understand.
Yeah.
And you see, if you don't understand it, you don't know how to get on with your business. I am not saying you are not going to make money in it, but just by making money, it doesn't mean that you are good at your actual profession. You might be very good at your business, but that's different. That's different. It is very good if you are good at both of them. Yeah. I mean,
Yes.
you have to be a good business person to get there actually, but first of all, and most of all, you need to understand that the new generation of people, and it actually mainly started in 2003, but sort of totaled in 2012. To deal with this generation, you need to know a lot. It really means that you need to talk about things that was forbidden for us because society thought that we shouldn't talk about it. We should keep it as a secret and whatever it is. But we cannot keep any more secrets any longer because we need to dig.
Yes.
You know, what is important is hidden. So we're now at the point when we have to discover all the hidden treasures that actually made us a human being,
Mm-hmm.
and of course brought us here where we are, because we left it hidden rather than getting into sort of curiosity and started to dig for certain things. We didn't ask questions. We never actually learned. I am talking about humanity at large at the moment, because I was brought up in the communism. I learned how to ask questions because that was the base of our education, and it was good. But then again, not everybody had this
No.
wonderful upbringing.
Yeah.
And most people were not taught how to ask questions. And that is a big problem because if you don't know how to ask questions, then you are not getting anywhere. You are not elevating yourself into anything. I mean, think about your family, think about your children, even if you are not in a coaching business or any kind of so-called spiritual business or business. But you are a human being and you are a mother, a father, a parent, a brother, a sister, a child, a friend, a colleague, of auntie or uncle or whatever it is to somebody else. So what are you going to tell and teach people around you? I mean, especially you are responsible for your children, of course, even though you think you are not responsible. I mean, nowadays I know it is very fashionable to let the children bring themselves up, but come on, guys, you can. What did it do to a generation of people? You cannot do that. They don't know how to bring themselves up. They need guidance. And you have to give them guidance. But if you don't have the guidance, how do you want to give them the guidance? You know, I mean, it is really interesting how we are at the moment and what we have to deal with and have to learn to deal with if we want to be useful members or become useful members of this whole society around us or whatever it is. So what do you think, Beverly?
I agree. I think people, a lot of young people today never learn limitations. They never learn consequences. They never learn self-discipline because all you had to do was show up. And now they're showing up and finding out they're not getting what they want. They're confused. I taught at naturopathic college for over 5 years. So I've been meeting a lot of these folks, and they're young people compared to me, and I see what they're going through, and they're the really smart ones. So I think that some of the people who were raised in very disadvantaged circumstances, who didn't have the opportunity to learn, it's especially hard for them. And we need to find a way to help everyone because we're all one. And if you don't help everyone, are you helping anyone? We have to help each other. What's that saying? What you do to the least of them, you do to me, I think is what Jesus said. And so that's so important for us. I am heartbroken that there's so many homeless. No one should be homeless. No one should be hungry. We have the resources as a human culture to deal with that, and we haven't been. So all of that needs to change. That's the part of the matrix that we need to get under control.
Yes, I mean, the problem really is that we are selfish and we have to really admit it.
Yeah.
That if we have what we want, then we are not paying attention to anybody else. Even within one country, I mean, when the election comes or parties or the ideas become low, we don't really take the whole country into our consideration, only ourselves, and we want our pocket to get a bit better, of course. So the problem is then, I mean, if your pocket gets fatter, it means that it is going to miss somebody else's pocket or you know, I mean, somebody else is going to have less money. So the point is really, it is very important to think of everybody all the time. I mean, within the country, it is, first of all, it is the most important for everybody because it is your country. You live in it. You actually exist in it. And you really need to nurture everybody in the country. And it is very important. And of course, then we are part of the whole earth and all the other countries as much as that. So we have to look after all the others also. But on the other hand, I do appreciate and understand that people are very insecure. And because of that, they want to put the money into their own pocket. Mind you, money is becoming liquid. So in one way or another, it is not in your pocket any longer. And you never know when the tap closes up. That's it.
Yes.
Because it is not in your hand any longer. So you don't have the real money in your hand and put it into your pocket, but it is somewhere floating in the universe, and God knows what happens with it. You know? So it is. I do appreciate that people want to sort of guard their security. But I tell you honestly, I mean, you really need to know security is an illusion because it doesn't exist.
No.
The only security you can have is in yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Because you have to believe in yourself,
Mm-hmm.
that you are capable of getting out of every condition and every circumstances around you.
Mm-hmm.
And you are going to survive it. And whatever happens, you are going to be the winner because you either have the experience and you actually took a step forward. So in every way, you are a winner, but that's the only thing. So, and if you want to believe in yourself, you really need to understand yourself. Yeah.
Yeah.
And, you know, money is not what makes you a human being.
No.
And now everybody talks about it. I mean, the first question is now is, I remember back, I mean, it used to be a taboo to ask people about their salaries and how much they make or whatever it is. But now it is becoming really sort of fashionable to ask and to talk about our wealth, how they put it, yeah? Well, I consider when I meet somebody, I definitely don't talk about that. And I am not asking the question, what are you doing for a living? Because that's the very first question. I want to know what is your favorite color? What is your favorite music? What do you like to do in your spare time? You know, or how did you like this book or that book or whatever it is? But definitely not going to talk about any of this floating faces of people, because it's not the real human being. I mean, I know I've been surrounded by so-called spiritual people because I am an author of a best-selling author. Also, I have 11 books published. I forgot to mention it before. But, and I talk about all the stuff in my books, of course. You know, and I've been teaching the mysteries of the universe and humanity for almost 30 years now. So I am really surrounded by people who either think or are so-called spiritual.
Hmm.
But most of them are just floating because they say, ah, I am spiritual. So it as if they gain the permission for floating. So they don't need to do anything else because they are spiritual. That is something really, really not acceptable in every way, you know. You really need to dig and learn. A person who is on a spiritual path, learning can never stop.
Right. It's a
It,
process, not a destination.
yes, yes. And you know, the road is more important than the aim
Yeah.
because the road is what you are living.
Right.
The aim is just standing there and that's it. It's not the road of getting there. It is something and it is extraordinary.
Hmm.
Well, anyhow, I am actually uh, creating premium courses nowadays, digital premium courses, of course. I used to teach one-to-one, and I used to travel from one country to another one and select certain people to teach to a high level of knowledge. Of course, the highest level is the alchemy. That is actually meaning the matter of Egypt, just in case you didn't know. It's nothing to do with anything else, you know. I mean, people are not having alchemy because they know what to cook today. So that's something very different. Anyhow, I've been teaching all that stuff live, but now I switched to digital and I create premium courses. One of my very important signature premium course is called the Complete Awareness Mindset Formula. It is called that way because it digs into the psychology, physiology, and mental understanding of humanity, and with it, of course, the whole universe, because we cannot talk about human beings without understanding the universe, you know. So actually, it is very important, and this course starts up. My next course on this premium course starts up on the 17th of January. So if anybody is interested, of course, coaches, educators, healers are most welcome. And everybody who wants to step on the road of understanding or awakening, that would be a very good course. It is an 8-week course and with weekly live lectures and Q&As. Of course, there is a support group, as always we do the support groups, that is needless to say. And if the coaches, healers, and educators want, I can give them for structuring lectures actually free at the end of the course to help them put into perspective how they want to actually use what they learn. So that's what it is all about.
Okay, and we'll put the link for that class down below for people who are wondering. So it's an 8-week class starting January 17th, and
Yes.
it's going to be all online.
Yes, it is an evergreen course, but because I give live lectures weekly, uh, I need to have a starting date, obviously.
Oh, okay.
But the lectures are sort of dripping in for everybody. Yes, it's full of exercises and questions, because the idea is, you see, if you want to awaken yourself, you really need to learn how to ask questions and how to answer questions.
Mm-hmm.
That's the only way. If you stay in your comfort zone because you understand everything I am saying, then you are in your comfort zone. Then you haven't learned anything. Don't be very happy about it. Because what you have to do is, you really have to scratch your scalp, and say, what is this question all about? Because if you haven't done that, then you are in your comfort zone still. So
Wonderful, Zsa Zsa. Well, we've really enjoyed your talk today, and I hope your class is a great success. And like I said to everyone, the link for the workshop will be posted below this video. And thank you all, and thank you, Zsa Zsa.
my pleasure, and thank you very much for seeing me here, Beverly. I really love talking to you. It's always such a delight.
And I enjoy your company as well. All right. Bye bye.
You guys.